They say that overcoming public fear is one of the most challenging things that anyone can do in their lifetime. I've seen family members, friends who were the funniest, the strongest, the toughest, but the moment I put them in front of the room, in front of a room of 5, 10 people, and I said, okay, just go and introduce yourself, they were shaking, terrified, and full of fear. It's something that psychologically just messes with people's brains. But here's the thing. Today, I'm going to debunk some of the things that I had to do to overcome public speaking. And I kind of put it up in some within like the top 5 to 10 things that I personally do to prepare to speaking to you each and every opportunity that I get. This is the ME Show.
I've been caught up since the day that we met, and you haven't seen the best of me yet. There's nothing like you and me together, and your eyes have been so hard to forget. But there's something you're trying to hide. There's something you're keeping inside. But I'm trying to get to know you much better. It don't matter how much time it takes. I just can't give up. Whoa, I just can't give up. Can't give up. I just can't give up. Oh, baby, I just can't give up.
Let us talk about public speaking. Man, they say that public speaking is the number one fear in humanity. I believe being buried alive is number 6, and drowning is number 5, and being burned alive is number 4. So most of you would rather die or being buried alive than actually speaking in public. First and foremost, my name is Ali Midawi. I help struggling entrepreneurs to leverage social media and the digital space to create brand equity and revenue. And I certainly would love nothing more but to know, who am I talking to? Let me know in the comments, wherever you may be watching this from. Are you an entrepreneur? Are you a speaker? Are you a hopeful speaker? And is public speaking one of the things that challenges you or kind of creates a little bit of limited beliefs for you? If that is the case for you, my friend, welcome home. I got your back. So I'm going to sum it up, and I kind of put some of the top things, just like my daily routine that I do in the format of a bullet point, just to stay organized, and you'll understand why. So let's get into it. So the very first thing is, fear is usually from ignorance. Fear is when you don't know something, right? Like if you go to swim with the sharks and you're not a pro, you don't understand what swimming with the shark means, and what are the risks, and how to maneuver yourself in the water if there is, God forbid, something crazy that takes place. Well, that's going to be feared fueled experience, right? Like roller coaster. The very first time you're afraid, you don't know what you don't know, that ignorance kicks in. So same thing comes from public speaking. In many cases, people try to speak on something they have no business speaking on at all. Like, okay, I read The Law of Attraction, or Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, or I watched The Secret. That's it. I'm gonna start focusing on the law of attraction. This is what I'm gonna talk about every single day. And they see themselves nervous and afraid is because, do you understand that the late Bob Proctor has taken 53 years of studying Think and Grow Rich repeatedly over and over and over and over and over and over, and he still was getting so much more from it, and he still was learning from it. He still was being going over his notes and being mentored yet again. And it's a fascinating factor that after 53 years, he was still learning about the same exact topic. The same thing goes for you. You have to know your topic. You have to know what you want to talk about and study it, not just take a couple of bullet points and say, like so, those word fillers that are starting to eat your brain alive. You have to know your topic. So if you are not educated on what you're about to talk about, ladies and gentlemen, you're about to flop. So make sure that you know what you are going to talk about. The second thing is to get organized. I put a couple of bullet points in front of me because my passion is public speaking. I love to do public speaking. I've probably done over 500 conferences over the last however many years that I've been doing this in different platforms, different formats, up to believe the largest audience I spoke in front of was 17,000 individuals. But here's the thing. I still get a little bit nervous on that very first out, right? But because I focus and rather I know what my topic is so well and I study for it and I prepare for it, I also get organized. I never script any of my keynotes, but I put bullet points in whatever teleprompter so I know what is the next thing that I'm going to talk about so I can stay in time and I can stay in the same sequence that is important to me. So get organized. Here's a hint that I tell individuals, especially if you're doing a live in the lens of the camera right in front of you, you can take little post-its and put notes, like sticky notes, on the bullet points of what you want to cover. So your eye contact is never out of your lens while you are still focusing on the cheat sheets that are around your camera itself. So that gives you the ability to look at your notes without feeling nervous, because sometimes when we do this or look left or look right, by default, we tend to lose our train of thought, right? So making sure that we're doing that. Number 3 is making sure that you actually practice some more. So I actually practice my speeches and my keynotes and even this appointment that I have with you right now every single day. I practice it way beforehand. I practice it at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I practice it again at 4 o'clock. And I go over my bullet points and I start thinking to myself, like, did I really say what I just said? Right? You start asking yourself, is this the best delivery mechanism? Sometimes I check with my executive team. Hey, here's what I'm going to do. Here's what I'm going to cover. And sometimes they say, you are crazy. That doesn't make any sense. Why would you say it that way? And again, we kind of recreate, rearrange, and re-engage. There's always these thoughts in my head, but if I don't practice them, it's like a song, right? The more you practice it, the more soft and smooth that it's going to be. Does that make sense what I'm telling you right now so far? Is this something that is connecting with you? I mean, it's very, very basic, but yet the greatness is always on the very small steps that we tend to take for granted. So making sure that you're practicing. Number 4 is make sure that you challenge your very own worries. You know, if you're going to be a public speaker, a motivational speaker, a keynote, well, start with your own fears. Start with motivating yourself. Start buying what you are selling. I see a lot of people that say, oh, I help people transform and experience the best things in life and yada, yada, yada. And the moment I say, well, let's talk about your business and how we can scale it up. And maybe you should consider investing $3,000 in your own business. Oh, well, I'm afraid if I invest that, it won't come back. I'm like, dude, I just watched your Facebook Live saying you got to think with the vision. You got to be a visionary and think big. Whatever happened to that very same guy that I heard speak last night? And you start realizing that it's not about saying the right thing. It's about living what you are saying. So making sure that you are challenging your own worries, making sure that you are authentic, that you are real, that you let the world know, hey, listen, I'm afraid of public speaking. Do you understand how powerful it is if you go on a Facebook Live and say, hey, man, I don't understand how to do this thing, but I am passionate enough about making a difference for myself and for you that I'm still going to put myself out here. And as nervous as I am, I'm going to try to come here every single day and give you value. I remember that very first live that I've done in 2015, late 2015, when Periscope started, and then it became, you know, everybody kind of leaned toward Facebook Live. And here we are. Everybody is streaming right now. So very, very important for you to focus on that. Number 5 is visualize your success. Let me ask you a question and let me know if you've done this before. Have you ever practiced your keynote in front of the mirror, even if you're not a keynote speaker? Have you ever practiced your superstardom speech and you're hearing the crowd calling your name and everybody's cheering you on? Have you ever done that? If you haven't, you're missing out. You gotta experience. See, your neurons do not understand the time difference, right? Just like trauma does not know if it happened in the past or it's happening right now. That's why trauma feels real when you are feeling the anxiety of a bad experience from the past. Well, the same exact thing happens for accruing courage and being motivated and inspired. Live the moment as if it's happening right now. By the way, that's one of the things that the law of vibration teaches, for those of you who are passionate about that. You got to live in the moment. Let your body experience the happiness, the joy right now. When I experience it, now I have experience in it. Now I can predict how it's going to be played out. Now I know exactly what to anticipate and to expect, which kind of eases that nerve that is shaking me up a little bit before I go on stage. And by the way, it'll never go away. It's usually, you just shrink into time. At first it's like scared for a full 20-minute keynote, and then it becomes only 10 minutes of those 20, and then it becomes 5, and then it's just before I get on stage for the first 1 minute. Then it's like, after I read a prayer, it's showtime. I put my speaker hat on. That's it. I'm good to go. So make sure you visualize your success. Number 6 is do some real deep breathing. You have no idea before I press that go live how much breathing I do. Man, it allows me to release all those tension things that are holding me back. It's like, man, it feels good already just doing it with you right now live. It's like, you don't even understand how good that felt right now. It's like I almost needed it in real time, and I'm glad I experienced it with you. You feel that? I know it's through the screen, but you feel how, man, felt so good. Do that before you go live, or before you go on a Zoom, or before you go on a conference call, or before you do anything on a public keynote platform, especially when you are physically in front of people, because you got every eye staring at you. And I could totally understand how that could be challenging. Next piece is make sure you focus on the material that you are speaking on, not on the audience. Focus on the material, not on the audience. See, many times we focus on the reaction of our audience that we tend to forget how valuable we are. Like, I see it all the time. Like, do you think I did good? Do you think I did good? I'm like, why? Well, I don't know how people reacted, man. Who cares? Is your stuff good? Yes. Did it create real meaningful results? Yes. Did it create impact before you walked on the stage? Yes. Then if one person has been impacted, you did well. Focus on the material, not on the reaction. Sometimes your material is so powerful, but your delivery might not be as mature as it needs to be, that the world that is watching is doing this. So they're listening attentively while you were expecting them to be like, yeah, this is the best thing ever. Just focus on the material. You have a job to do, is to deliver the information to inspire, to motivate, and give the proper data, real data. And we all can tell if it's just fluff, if you just prepared slides that you found online, or you truly know what you're talking about, right? A majority of the masters that I get educated from and I speak with, they never have, a scripted keynote. They know their stuff. Again, they may have slides just to kind of put emphasis if there's like a specific data that they want to share, and or they put bullet points so they can stay on track for their keynote itself. Last piece is don't be afraid of silence. See, it is within silence that great moments are created. That's when the mic droppers happen. That silent moment is where I got everybody's attention. I remember the first time I had, I can tell you specifically where it was, August of 2014, and it was in Houston, Texas. I was the honorary closing speaker of a network marketing company, and man, it was an amazing 20 minutes. It was a lot of emotion, laughter. I was definitely nervous. It was my early days of public speaking, and I could hear people walking, and it was carpet, and I could hear the steps. I could hear if somebody dropped their keys or their pen. I could hear it. And it was thousands of people in front of me, but I could hear it. And that was the moment that I was like, I think I'm good at this thing. I think I can help some people. I think I have value to offer. It was just a fascinating thing. And I'm not gonna lie to you, that moment at first I was like, they're silent. They're not laughing. I am the kind of person that love to joke around and, have good positive vibes and good energy. So whenever it's like silent at first, it was like, I'm doing something wrong. I'm not delivering. People are not receiving me the way I envisioned this is going to be. But that moment, yeah, I realized it. As a matter of fact, if you want to see that video, just let me know. I'll drop it for you on the DM. I might even put it on the comment or wherever you may be watching. You just got to let me know, because we're broadcasting in many platforms at the same exact time. And you will notice as I finished that keynote, I said, "My name is Ali Badawi, and my career starts right now." And at that time, I was already 6 years into my career, but it was a validating moment to say the least. So I hope what I'm sharing with you right now just gives you enough of a confidence, enough of a courage to try it out, because you cannot motivate others if you don't address your own fears that you need to motivate yourself with. Because the moment you do it for yourself is now you are a validated, documented, credible educator that you can go and teach somebody else. As I teach and I work with my own clients, you cannot fix someone else's credit unless you ruined yours and then you fixed it. You cannot teach somebody how to trade in the financial sector successfully unless you blew some money and figured it out. You cannot teach me how to lose weight unless you were at some point overweight and figured out how to shrink your body and maintain it. It's all about documenting yourself. I don't like the new age of coaches and gurus that we are living in right now, because everyone is a coach, everyone is a guru, everyone is an entrepreneur, though most don't even know the definition of entrepreneur or even how to spell the E before the U or the U before the E, or sometimes people just drop the E overall. It's a French word, by the way, you should look it up. But in any case, make sure that you do the right thing for you so you can build a genuine real, authentic self, not some avatar that you're making up where you turn on the switch and say, okay, go ahead and entertain, and then switch it off and you're miserable and sad when you get off that stage. I hope this information helped you out. I love and I appreciate each and every one of you. Tomorrow, baby boy and baby girl, we are going to bring the heat for you as we have your Strategic Partner Show at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And of course, we have one of our strategic partners who's going to be educating at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for our private community. If you are not part of the community, make sure you hit up iam.media, click on ME Academy, and for an average of $1.50 a day, you can take advantage of unlimited amount of learning and education and modules on demand. Everything we've done to develop and build multi-billion dollars of sales over the last 14 years. And of course, build a brand for ourselves. We do it in 5 international languages, and we help you from A to Z. We bring all of our executive team. We essentially make you the superhero of our company. So let us know if we can help in any way, shape, or form. And hey, if you want a freebie Zoom with yours truly, again, drop it in the comment and I'll make sure you have my Calendly, and we can schedule a 30-minute mastery evaluation and just kind of see if we are the right candidate for one another. And for you, it's a freebie. For me, I get an opportunity to learn about you and maybe even share the love. So I appreciate you and I love you. And until tomorrow, have a blessed day, everybody.